Okay, we are live. Are we live? We are live. Okay, hello teachers. It's Layla here with you with the Facebook Live series that I'm going to be doing regularly, a lot more regularly than before. Now, I hope that we're not going to have a lot of technical difficulties here. This is the first time after a while that I'm doing this, and this is for teachers. So if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you and your students have probably settled down by now. And if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and you must be thinking about what you're going to teach in spring and maybe school gardens as well. So, and if you're in a Southern Hemisphere, then you are already in spring, like so your spring has started already. So I'm going to do one Facebook Live a week. And I'll download it and I put it on YouTube for non-Facebookers as well. And I'll probably do one for parents as well once a week, because parents at home with kids gardens, it's a very different animal than teachers in schools. So school gardens and kids gardens at home are very, very different. Okay, so if you're a teacher, then follow these series that says teachers on top of it. And if you're a parent, follow the other series that I'm going to do another series of, gardening with kids at home for parents. Follow those. If you're both, then follow the one that's your current desired focus. And if you're a homeschooler, you might want to follow the ones that are for parents, because I think that would fit your situation a lot better. Okay? All right. So I'm going to do one for every week, one for parents, one for teachers, okay? And you decide which one you want to follow, or maybe you want to follow both. It's up to you. So, let's start with this first one that's going to be for teachers. And I have my notes here, and I'm trying to make sure that I grab everything. Did I tell you everything? So these are going to be short. Well, this one's longer because obviously I am explaining all of this. But they're going to be short, and every one of them is going to have one tip or trick that, keeps you moving forward in your path with your kids' gardens at home or in school, depending on which one you're watching. Okay, so let's get started with this one. And again, this one is for teachers. Okay, are you guys ready? Let's see where we are. Did I explain everything I wanted to? Okay. Okay, so I have a question for you. What would you say is the most important reason for having a food garden at your school? A school garden, something that you actually can call a school garden. What is the single most important reason for having a school garden? What do you think? Not an orchard, not a community garden, not a food garden at home, not a home garden, a school garden. What do you think? So, in my opinion, the most single reason for having a school garden, something that, if you don't achieve that, then you might as well not even call it a school garden, right? Is, and there are many different reasons that you might have for it. Okay? What's the one that makes it actually a school garden? Makes it something that you can call it a school garden. If that's not achieved, then it's not a school garden. What do you think? You can put it down below if you want, and then if you're watching it later, again, do that. And I'll tell you what my opinion is about it. What my opinion is that a school garden is a school garden if these students attending that school, not students that you bring from another school there, not students that are doing a field trip into your school, no. The students in your school learn how to grow food in that garden. That is a school garden, period. Okay? So that should be the main purpose, the main reason you do it. Okay? So yes, there are a million different reasons why you want a school garden there. There are ample amount of stuff that are already in your curriculum that you can teach to your students. in a school garden. All the science topics, leadership, health and healthy eating topics, an ample amount, right? But you can teach all of that stuff within a curriculum that teaches them how to grow food. If you don't teach them how to grow food, then you're going to be facing a lot of different obstacles. And I'm going to go through them one by one in the next videos, right? Because I don't want to bombard you with a lot of information here. There are many reasons for having a school garden, but the main goal, the main reason you want to do it must be, and this comes from years of experience, teaching the students of your school how to grow their own food. Okay, so have that in mind, and then you can call it a school garden. If you achieve that, you can call it a school garden. Sounds good? So I'll explain different aspects of this. I'll expand it little by little over the next videos. But I want you to do right now is this week, until the next video, which is going to come out next week, I want you to think about different ways that you can, design your school garden, or the activities that you do with your kids, or the activities that you do in that school garden, okay, in a way that is all done by your students. Why? Why is that? Because they're not going to learn if they don't do it. They have to do everything, and I mean everything, even building the garden from scratch if possible. So even building the garden from scratch if possible, there are circumstances that it might not be possible, but if it is possible, the students in that school need to do the work, because this is a hands-on experiential learning type of garden, type of tool. It's a learning tool. That's why it's a school garden, right? And if they don't actually get their hands dirty in the soil and do everything, anything you do for them or a parent volunteer does for them, they are not going to learn. So they have to do it so they learn. Okay, so there's a lot of other reasons for that as well, which it's going to come up in the next videos that we're going to cover different aspects of it later next weeks. But right now, it's really important for you to think about how can you design your school garden, or the activities that you want to plan for your school garden, in that school garden, for it to be in a way that it gets done by your students of your school. The students, it doesn't have to be your classroom necessarily, but it should be the students of that school. Okay, now you can do a lot of other stuff with your school garden later on down the road, but you have to first focus on this very main important goal, which is teaching the students of that school to learn how to grow food. Okay, and I would love for you to share your thoughts on the topic down below. And I'll talk to you next week. Okay, so let's change the world one school garden at a time with ease and fun. See you guys soon. Bye. Ciao.